Sciences.
I'm Kevin, and I'm a senior in marketing and management.
And I'm Cam. I'm a senior in biomedical engineering.
Okay, and I'm going to talk about the history and the mythology of the stadium. So, Greek traveler Pausanias wrote in 175 AD that the word stadium is derived from a foot race, the stadium race, which is raced over about 650 feet, measured after the feet of Hercules. The Olympic Stadium was a holy place for the ancient Greeks, as this is where sporting events dedicated to Zeus were held. The stadium was originally located within the Timaeus, with spectators able to view races from the slopes of Mount Kronos. It was gradually relocated east until it reached its present location in the early 5th century BC. And a little bit about the mythology. So it's about Pelops and Tantalus. So after Pelops' father, Tantalus, pretty much cut him up and attempted to serve him to the Greek gods, they rejected it and decided to reassemble his body. After his resurrection, Poseidon took him to Olympus and taught him how to drive a chariot. Pelops wanted to marry Hippodamia, which was the daughter of King Onimus, but could only do so on one condition. The condition was for Pelops to race the king in a chariot race. After cheating his way to the finish line, he killed the king to marry his daughter, and after his victory, Pelops organized chariot races as thanksgiving to the gods and as funeral games in the honor of King Omnimus. It was from this funeral race held at Olympia that the beginning of the games were inspired.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the design of the stadium. So first, the entrance that we walk through from the sanctuary is made of vaulted stone. And then we come out to the main field, which is just a rectangular grass field, a lot like what we saw at Delphi. One interesting thing is that the start and the finish are marked with these stone platforms called bulbous. These had sockets, I think you can see them right here, for the starting posts for the runners. And they also had grooves right here and here. And these were used for the positioning of the runner's feet so they can get a lead off. And it was designed in such a way that they could grip their toes into it, but also not stub their toes on it. The hills surrounding it are the natural seating for the people to watch the races. It would have been a lot more muddy back then because the people would be digging into the hills. And from here, we also have on this side, we have the exedra, which is where the judges would watch the race, and also the priestess. And then on this side, we have a altar to Demeter Shaman. And that's pretty much it, so I'll pass it over to Cam.
Okay, so what we're looking at now is kind of like the final iteration of the stadium. The first one was formed in the Archaic period, which is mid-6th century BC, by leveling the south area of the Kronos Hills inside the Altus. And so the Altus is like the Holy Lands. So the west short side of the original stadium faced the altar of Zeus. In the late 6th century BC, a new stadium, the second iteration, was created east of its predecessor, with a racetrack extending beyond the Treasury's terrace. An artificial bank 3 meters high was formed along the south side, while the hillside formed a natural seating area. The final stadium here was built in the 5th century when the Great Temple of Zeus was also built. And so this stadium can fit about 45,000 people. And if you guys remember the one from Delphi, that had stone seats. This has the natural seating kind of preserved. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it.